Good day, everyone. Our topic for today is the continuation of Chapter 5, which is the curriculum implementation. And for today's discussion, we will talk about the levels of curriculum implementation. Before we will start our discussion for today, allow me to introduce myself and also my group mates. I am John Guanzon, and together with me is Miss Gerasol, Miss Jarantilla, and Mr. Clint Dave Gomez. To ensure the smooth implementation of the curriculum, each department or Ministry of Education in any country has established a system that will take charge of the whole work of planning, development, implementation, and evaluation of the curriculum. Here in the Philippines follows a centralized system of curriculum development and implementation that starts from the national level down to the local school level, as you can see on the figure on your screen. Although the regional, division, district, and local levels are empowered to plan, monitor, and evaluate programs, projects, and plans to the central office of the Department of Education, still does most of the policies and curriculum development work. In accordance of the Republic Act 9155, also known as the Governance of Basic Education Act of 2001, Chapter 1, Section 7, defines the function of each level as follows. First is the national level. In the national level, through the leadership of the Secretary of Education, the undersecretaries, assistant secretaries, and the different bureau officers are responsible for the following. First is formulating national educational policies. Next is formulating a national basic educational plan, promulgating national educational standards, monitoring and assessing national learning outcomes. Next is undertaking national educational research and studies, enhancing the employment status, professional competence, welfare, and working conditions of all personnel of the department. And lastly, enhancing the total development of learners through local and national programs and projects.
Regional level. Consistent with the national educational policies, plans, and standards, the regional office under the regional director shall be responsible for the following. First, defining a regional educational policy framework which reflects the values, needs, and expectations of the communities they serve. Developing a regional basic educational plan and developing regional educational standard with a view towards benchmarking for international competitiveness. Next, monitoring, evaluating, and assessing regional learning outcomes. They monitor, evaluate, and assess learning outcomes for them to use for improvement. Next, undertaking research projects and developing and managing region-wide projects which may be funded through official development assistance or other funding agencies. They ensuring strict compliance with prescribed national criteria for the recruitment, selection, and training of all staff in the region and division. Formulating in coordination with the Regional Development Council, the budget to support the regional educational plan, which will take into account the educational plans for the division and districts. Next is determining the organization component of the division and districts, and approving the proposed staffing pattern of all employees in the division and district. They are hiring, placing, and evaluating all employees in the regional office except for the position of the assistant director, and also evaluating all school division superintendents and assistant division superintendents in the region. Next is planning and managing the effective and efficient use of all personnel, physical and fiscal resources of the regional office, including professional staff development. They managing the database and management information system of the region. And last, approving the establishment of the public and private elementary and high school. On division level, a division consists of the province or a city, consistent with the national educational policies, plans, and standards, the division level, through the leadership of the division superintendent, shall be responsible of the following: developing and implementing division education development plans, and planning and managing the effective and efficient use of all personnel, physical and fiscal resources of the division, including professional staff development. Next, hiring, placing, and evaluating all division supervisors and school district supervisors, as well as all employees in the division, both teaching and non-teaching personnel, including school heads, except for the assistant division superintendent. Next, monitoring the utilization of funds provided by the national government and the local government unit to the school and learning centers. Next, ensuring compliance of quality standard for basic education program, and for this purpose, strengthening the role of division supervisor as subject area specialist. Next, promoting awareness of and adherence of by all schools and learning centers to accreditation standards prescribed by the Secretary of Education. And last, they supervising the operation of all public and private elementary, secondary, and integrated school and learning centers.
For the continuations of presentation which align in the curriculum implementation, I'm Jarantilla Angeline, discuss about the school district level and the school level. When we say school district level, it is a leadership of the district supervisor which is responsible in terms of providing professional and instructional advices that support to the school heads and teachers, facilitators of the schools in the learning center in the district or in the cluster. It is also called curricular supervision. The school district is an area that includes all the schools where governed by the particular authority, and that is the government. And for the school level, it is consistent with national educational policies, plans, and standard level through the leadership of the school heads, which is responsible in the following. The first is setting the mission, visions, goals, and objectives of the school, which is we already discussed last discussions. The second is creating environment with a school conclusive, which means promoting in a way of teaching for the teacher and learnings for the learners. The third, develop the school education program that school have an improvement plan. The fourth, offering educational program, project, and services that can provide equitable opportunities for the learners and the community. One of the examples now happening in schools is the TVET program, which aligns and has a different choices for the advancement of the learner. It is also a partnership of the school and TESDA program governed by the government. And also, one of the example is the NSTP subject. The fifth is introduce new and innovative modes of instructors to achieve higher learning outcomes. One of the example now is the high technology, where anyone can acquire, which can learn individual, plus the guidance of the instructor, that more effective learnings to outcomes. The number 6 is the administrative and management's all personnel, physical and fiscal resources of the school. It is the emergency outbreaks for the school were supported by the physical personnel and others. Number 7, establishing school and community networks through participations of the teachers, organizations, non-academic personnel of the schools, where parents, teachers, and community, same as the explanations in the number 6 earlier. So next, accepting donations. It is the organizations involved in the schools to claim by or giving heart of the students to give the needed ones, especially for those people affected when disasters happen. One of the example is the blood donation. Next, the Republic Act 10533. It is the efficient implementations for the K-12 educations of the Philippines through Enhanced Basic Educations Act of 2013. It is an act which ensuring the kindergarten and senior high school to avail in basic education system that the Filipino students can be part in international standards to be ready to meet and need and the demands of knowledge base of the society. The Republic Act number 7722, known as the Higher Education Act of 1994. CHED has two levels of central office, and that is national level and regional level, which already discussed by Ms. Gerasol. This Republic Act developed the policies and set to have a national directions for higher educations in the country. And next, for the CHED OPS, which stands for Office for Standard Program, that responsible of this in the curricular matters. And the last, the CMO, means the CHED Memorandum Order, that this memorandum serve as a guide to higher educations on the course offered per program, admissions, retentions, policies, administrative requirements, and other. One of the example is the ISO accreditations. This memorandum is one of the guidelines of the school, especially the private schools.
To continue to our report, we all know that regional offices is one of the CHED level. According to the book, the regional offices of CHED is responsible for the monitoring and implementation of the policies and guidelines developed by the central office. The monitoring work is done the help of regional experts on different fields known as Regional Quality Assurance Team. For the further reports, the regional offices of CHED check the compliance of this haze to the CMO issued by the Commission. First is Commission on Higher Education or national level. Is the Philippine government's agency in charge when promoting relevant and quality higher education, ensuring access to quality higher education, and guaranteeing and protecting academic freedom for continuing intellectual growth, advancement of learning, and also in research. Second is CHED regional offices. The rule is issue permits and recognition for the various program offerings of private higher education institutions, formulates and updates regional higher education development plans, implements scholarship, study grants, and study financial assistance programs, as well as other relevant student auxiliary services. Third is higher education institutions. Talks about colleges, professional institutes, and university. The rule is have the societal responsibility of providing guidance to students, faculty, staff, and administrations. For vocational and technical courses, the Technical Education Skills Development Authority or TESDA is the government agency that prescribes the curriculum and other requirements for the implementation of the program. Each courses is implemented through modules designed and implemented based on specific competence prescribed. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and we hope that you learned a lot about our discussion for today. Keep safe and God bless us all. Bye.